Early voting is underway now through November 11th, leading up to the general election November 18th. Voters will decide on 3 statewide runoff elections. I invited the candidates to chat at LPB Studios about their platforms and plans to work with Governor-Elect Jeff Landry's administration. Here's what they had to say.
Here's a look at both political party tickets for the November 18th election. On the Louisiana Democratic Party ticket for statewide offices in the runoff, Lindsey Cheek for Attorney General, Gwen Collins Greenup for Secretary of State, Dustin Granger for Treasurer. The Louisiana Republican Party ticket, Liz Murrill for Attorney General, Nancy Landry for Secretary of State, and John Fleming for Treasurer. The winners in each race will work with a conservative administration led by Governor-Elect Jeff Landry and a Republican-dominated legislature.
Just because we have perhaps a very conservative or far-right government does not mean that the world is burning down around us.
Lindsey Cheek is a practicing attorney campaigning on a pro-rights platform.
Democracy is about a system of checks and balances. And where disagreements occur, that can actually be an opportunity to come together.
Republican candidate for Secretary of State Liz Murrill currently serves as Solicitor General. Murrill declined our interview request. However, in previous public comments, she talked about her qualifications.
I have personally led over the DAs and assisted the DAs in over 200 cases in state and federal courts, criminal cases, and that's through the post-conviction process.
In the race for State Attorney General, crime has dominated the debate, topping the list of voter concerns.
I don't agree that we don't have a significant role in enforcing crime in our state. Our investigators have statewide criminal jurisdiction to investigate crime all over the state. We provide assistance to law enforcement upon request and upon initiation of our own investigations.
I know that concerns of people in Louisiana at the moment are, of course, crime, the environment, insurance is a problem.
Voters also decide who will serve as the next state treasurer. The office has an open seat left by outgoing state treasurer John Schroeder, who ran unsuccessfully for governor. Republican John Fleming and Democrat Dustin Granger are campaigning on very different platforms.
You said, quote, "For the next 4 years, we will have a far-right governor and a Republican majority in the state House and Senate." I want to hear your thoughts about how you can work with this conservative administration.
Yeah, I think, first of all, I have a strong interest in bipartisanship. But I do believe we should have balance in government. If a government moves a certain way, in this case, I think it has been pretty extreme right. A lot of the moderate Republicans have been pushed out. It's important to have another voice at the table, not just yes people.
I want to bring my economic development background and work with a unified team that we now have in Louisiana, beginning with Jeff Landry, our incoming governor, and other members of the administration and the legislature whom I've known and worked with for many years.
The state treasurer serves as Louisiana's main money manager and has 3 core areas of responsibility: managing the state's investments, the unclaimed property program, and presiding over the Louisiana Bond Commission, which has oversight of large-scale state and local government borrowing.
I think there is a misconception out there that the state treasurer has a direct role in crafting the budget. How do you envision working with the legislature to create a budget that is more stable?
Well, it does tie in with economic development because in order to have economic development, you need to lower the burden on businesses that want to get started in our state or move to our state. Even though the treasurer has no direct budgetary role, he or she can certainly work with the legislature and the governor to look at best practices.
I think the treasurer should have a more active role. In the Constitution, the Louisiana Constitution, the treasurer is the fiduciary for the people of the state, the economic fiduciary. The treasurer doesn't answer to the governor or the legislature, they answer directly to the people.
Both candidates believe they have the experience and a responsibility to help foster economic prosperity in Louisiana, although they differ on whether trickle-up or trickle-down economics at the state and national level works.
I support supply-side economics, and what is that? That is lowering taxes, lowering regulations, and removing burdens from those investors and companies who want to build things and make things and create jobs.
Right now we have just too many giveaways with ITEP, the Industrial Tax Exemption Program. Our tax code is very regressive, meaning the middle class and the poor bear the brunt of the taxes, especially with sales taxes. I think the focus needs to be on lowering that.
In the race for Secretary of State, voter turnout and voting machines were top topics. Democrat Gwen Collins Greenup is running for the office a third time.
I really want to protect our right to vote. This is the most important position when it comes to doing that, because the Secretary of State is the overseer of all of our elections in the state of Louisiana.
Gwen Collins Greenup is an attorney, an accountant, and a small business owner.
We actually plan to, first of all, strengthen our businesses. A lot of candidates don't lead with that, but I do, because we have a great commercial division.
Republican candidate for Secretary of State Nancy Landry serves as the first Assistant Secretary of State. Landry did not respond to our request for an interview, but she has publicly pledged to, quote, lead the charge on reducing regulations on small businesses and to continue reducing red tape for business owners. Gwen Collins Greenup outlines her pro-business agenda.
One of the things that I hear from not only business owners but voters is that the website is very confusing. I always tell them it's there. It's just not probably organized in a way that's user-friendly, so I want to tackle that. The next thing I want to tackle is business identity theft. And as an attorney, I've had customers that have dealt with that. And what that looks like is someone changing your business information during your renewal of your annual registration and replacing it with theirs. And then they become able to open up businesses in other areas, to apply for things with business credit in your name, and to open up bank accounts.
For both candidates, voter turnout is a key concern.
Our low voter turnout rates leave about 450,000 people making decisions for 4.6 million Louisianians. That was so concerning to me that I was willing to give up my law practice to run for Secretary of State.
Voter turnout for Louisiana's primary election was 36.3%. Voter turnout predictions are even lower for the general election November 18th, given that the governor's race is decided.